Hello. Hi everyone. Am I audible? Can you guys hear me? Apologies for the delay. Okay, great. And can somebody just confirm that it is also working on YouTube? Is somebody also watching on YouTube? Okay, okay, great. Yeah. So hi everybody. My name is Tanuj, and today I will be discussing a roadmap to competitive programming. I will introduce you to what competitive programming is, how you can practice and train to improve and get better. And also I will discuss some points about why this is hard, why why excelling at competitive programming is hard, and what can we do to like mitigate it. Okay, so okay, can everybody just quickly give a thumbs up if everything is working fine and we can start the lecture. Okay, great, great. Hi. Okay. So competitive programming, what is it? For some of you, I expect that most of you would already know some pieces of it, but just for sake of completeness, quoting from Wikipedia, a programming competition involves the host presenting a set of logical or mathematical problems, also known as puzzles, to the contestants, and the contestants are required to write computer programs which are capable of solving each problem. So basically, like it is a competition where everybody is given the same set of problems and limited time, and the problems are mostly mathematical problems and puzzles, for which the core part is coming up with a solution, what we call as an algorithm. So coming up with an efficient algorithm and then actually going and implementing or coding it so that you have a correct implementation of the algorithm. Okay, and the contestants who participate in these competitions are also known as sport programmers. It is very similar to any other sport, because you guys are competing for the best rank, and whoever solves the most problems in the fastest time gets the best rank. So uh, like it is very similar to any other sport, but it is a mind sport. And several multinational companies like Google and Facebook, etc., support it. They have their own versions of competitions which they hold. For example, Google has something called Google Code Jam, and Facebook also has a competition called Facebook Hacker Cup. So these companies also hold their own programming competitions, and they recognize people who do well in these competitions. I mean, yeah. So we'll also discuss more on it, that why is it important. But this is a brief introduction of what a competitive programming is, or what do we mean by programming competitions. Okay, and I imagine that most of you would would have some idea of it. Is there anybody who is completely new to competitive programming here, or who hasn't heard about competitive programming at all? Great. Yeah. So if there are such people, I want to give you an introduction that it is a it is a field which is very well recognized all across the world, and it is a lot of fun. We will see uh, ahead. So I mean, the question is that why should you get started with competitive programming? And this question can be asked by people who are, say, in school, people who are in college, people who are even folks who are already working as software engineers, or even in some other field of engineering. Okay, so anybody can get started with competitive programming. I know top programmers who are not even computer science graduates, who are pursuing physics as their core field of study, and even then they participate, even then they choose to participate in competitive programming. So I think personally for me, the most important reason of why you should get started is because it is a lot of fun. It is very similar to say why you play chess, or why you play any other sport, because when you start playing the sport, it is a lot of fun. And similar to how, say, chess is a mind sport, that you have to uh, it is similar to problem solving, that you have to win by applying your mind, and not necessarily your body. Competitive programming is a similar mind sport. So there is no age limit in competitive programming. Anybody can get started, anybody can participate. I know I know some professors who are in their 50s and 60s, who have invented data structures, and they still come on platforms like Codeforces and participate in programming competitions, though they don't need to at all. So I think a lot of people participate in competitive programming purely for the fun of it. It is a lot of fun. You get a thrill when you get problems accepted. You get a thrill when you say do good in competitions. You get sad when you don't do so good in competitions. So I think it is very similar to how there's any other sport. like there are specific contests like which are meant for say school students, college students, and in those contests like there are certain age limits. Like we will come to them soon, but in general, I think anybody can get started with competitive programming. And apart from just the fact that it is a lot of fun, I think it preparing for programming competitions like really helps you build a strong foundation of the skills which are needed to have a successful career as a software engineer. So any software engineer needs skills like having command on fundamental algorithms and data structures, like having a mastery on a certain programming language. That given uh, no audio, like somebody is saying that there's no audio. Like, is the audio working fine? Okay. Yeah. So I was saying that like any software engineer needs to have skills like a strong foundation in data structures and algorithms, mastery of a programming language. That once you have a idea in mind, you should be able to go and quickly implement it. And you should have fast and correct coding skills. That you should be able to go and implement an algorithm quickly and correctly. So these skills are essential for any person who wants to have a good career as a software engineer, and competitive programming helps you build all those foundations. Also, like doing well in these programming competitions helps you get national and international level recognition, and it also helps build your resume. For example, like there are competitions for college students called ICPC, like International Collegiate Programming Contest, and like these competitions are held at zonal level, regional level, and world finals level. And like if you are a highly rated programmer, or if you have participated in these competitions and done well, then that is recognized by any company that you want to apply to, say Google, Facebook, etc. So like both the points 2 and 3, that like if you have done well in competitions, it implies that you have good skills required to be a software engineer, and therefore companies like Google and Facebook would want you to work there, or like they would shortlist you for interviews, and you would be able to get interview calls from these companies, and then if you do well in interviews, also be able to work there. Okay. So I am I'm telling you all of this. The question is that why should you even be listening to me, or like whether I'm even like am I just giving some gyan here, or have I actually done something, like so that I can come and guide you guys, or like tell you about this. So to give you a brief background about myself, so I've been India rank one multiple times. I've been to the ACM ICPC World Finals twice. Like you can check that link and see. Like I've also like been an Indian IOI team trainer. Like I've been a trainer for the Indian IOI team. IOI is a competition for school students. So I was a trainer for the Indian team for IOI, which shortlists the four students who would represent India and also train them. I've also been a trainer at multiple national level camps. For example, like we've held Indian programming camps in 2016 and 17, and recently also last month we also held the Indian programming camp 2020 online. I think some of you might have attended it. And like in my personal life, I am a software engineer at Google in Munich. I've done internships at like in Google in Switzerland, in Facebook in London, like earlier, and I've also like I'm also personally interested in quantum computing, and I'm working with like Google's quantum AI group as a 20% as of now. So I have my own career, like I'm pursuing my own career right now, but I have spent significant amount of time doing computer programming, and like the reason I'm doing these sessions, or I'm like involved with CodeChef, is because I also want to give back to the community. Like before Unacademy or before CodeChef, like we used to have these training camps where we used to call people, and like the number of people we could call was like 20, 30 because of logistic issues. But now we are able to do the same level of training at scale. So I'm really excited about that. Okay. Okay, so like this was a brief introduction of computer programming and myself. Now coming to our main topic, that how do you get started, or like for some of you who are completely new, like what are the most fundamental steps like that you need to follow. So I think the first step is to basically go and create your account on these popular websites where most of these competitions take place for practice. For example, CodeChef and CodeForces are the two most popular websites where uh, like you have regular contests, and you can also go and attempt previous contests that have already happened. For example, on Code Forces, you can go and and participate and select any contest that has happened in the past and attempt it as a virtual contest, like so that it will simulate what happened in the actual contest, right? So like you should go and create accounts on these popular websites and start practicing. Like that is the first step. So apart from like practicing in the live contest, like you should also like so once you start practicing in the live contest, like you should try to get problems accepted within a limited time, because like a live contest is basically a 2 hour contest or a 5 hour contest where you have a certain set of problems which you go like which you have to go solve, code them up and get them accepted. And your rank in the live contest like determines what is called your rating. So like you might have heard terms like red coders. So a red coder is a highly rated coder who has done well in a lot of competitions. Like similarly, you have like different colors and different like ranks which you get. For example, like similar to how grandmasters are like top chess players. Like in chess, for example, like how grandmasters are top chess players, you also have a similar naming in the world of computer programming. That if you are a grandmaster or an international grandmaster, it means that you are a highly rated like computer programmer. And these things are also recognized like when you want to go and apply for jobs or like talk to other people who are also computer programmers. So like your rank in live contests like determine your level and like basically your division. We also have different divisions. Div 1 is advanced, Div 2 is intermediate, Div 3 is beginners, and like within these divisions like there are these further demarcations which I've explained, that like grandmaster or candidate master. So like once you create your account on these websites, you will quickly learn the lingo. Like that is not a very like hard thing to understand. And like once you get used to it, like you would want to become a highly rated programmer, so you want to keep improving your rating, like so that you can like analyze how well you are doing or how good you are getting. Okay, so like after you participate in a live contest, I think the most important part is to go and absolve it. Like absolving means that after the contest has ended, you should go back to the contest problems, look at which problems you were able to solve, which problems you were not able to solve, and even if you were not able to solve a problem, you should ask the question why. That, for example, did you not know the topic? Did you know the topic but you could not say come up with the right idea with the right reduction? So like you should definitely go and upsolve those problems. And like most of the contests have editorials where the author has given the actual solution. So you should go and read the editorials and also see whether, like, if there's a topic you don't know, which is mentioned in the editorial, you can go and learn that topic, because the number of topics are vast, like which you can go and learn. Like I cannot even cover the topic names in one lecture. Like there are so many different topics. So, like, how do you get exposed to those topics? Like one way is that you keep giving contests and you keep looking at editorials, but it is a very slow and long way. Uh, but yeah, like that is how most people have done it in the past. Like I myself, for example, have like learned most of the topics by looking at editorials of problems, and it is a slow process. So I think like one of the fundamental challenges to keep improving is to find good resources to learn these fundamental concepts, and also some advanced tricks which are required to solve some intermediate and advanced level problems, and also aim for international competitions like the ICBC World Finals or the IOI, or like Google Code Jam, etc. Right? But yeah, I think like these are the basic steps. You go and give contest, you absolve the contest, and try to read editorials of as many problems as you can, understand them, and go and learn new topics. Like that is the core way, which you definitely need to do in order to improve. Okay. So apart from this, like how do you train for team contests? Like some of the contests, for example, are team contests. For example, ICPC. ICPC is a contest. So to also give you guys a brief introduction to ICPC, like ICPC is a a contest which is held for college students. Okay. Okay. So like just to take a quick poll, like how many of you here are college students? Like how many of you are in your college? Say first year, second year, third year, any any branch. Yeah. Like so you can also enter it in the poll. Okay. Yeah. So it looks like more than like almost 90% of the people who are there in this lecture are college students. So for college students, I think ICPC is a very, very important thing. Like it could really impact your career. It could really impact uh, like your own skills, like your software engineering career, like your chances of getting an internship at Google or other companies, like your chances of getting a job at these companies. Like all of these things can be impacted by how well you train for these competitions. And it could also be a very good utilization of your time. Like I, for example, I think I spent a lot of my time during my college training for these competitions and participating in these competitions, and I think it played out well for me. So I would strongly recommend that like college students should focus on ICPC, and similarly, if you are in school, like you should focus on uh, a competition called IOI. It is similar to the other Olympiads like Maths Olympiad, Physics Olympiad. IOI is basically International Olympiad in Informatics. So you should focus on IOI competitions. Okay. So for ICPC specifically, ICPC is a team competition, as most of you might know. So the competition, like in the competition, you need to create a team of three members. All should be from your same college, and the competition is a 5 hour long competition. So in 5 hours, you have to usually solve around 10 problems. Like sometimes the problems can be 9 or 11, but usually the contest has roughly 10 problems which you need to solve in 5 hours, and you need to solve these 10 problems as a three-member team and not individually. So if you have three members in the team, like you need to, like ideally you should be distributing the problems such that like each person gets at least two, three problems to solve and they're able to solve it. Okay. And you can also practice for these contests like on the same websites like Code First, CodeChef. Like for example, all the previous, so like to also give like some more idea. So ICPC is basically an international level competition. It is also called an Olympics of programming. So like similar to how Olympics happens for other sports, like this is like the Olympics of sports programming. So like teams from all over the world compete in these competitions, like first at zonal level, like then the shortlisted teams move on to the national level. Again, we have a competition at national level. The shortlisted teams then like move on to the international level where they compete with teams from other countries. So like when I initially introduced myself, like I've been uh, to the international like world finals of ICBC twice, and I've been like India rank one like multiple times. So that is how the ICBC structure works, and most of the times, so apart from the zonal level, I think like once you go to regionals or any other on-site competition, you usually have a single computer on which you need to code the problems, and apart from that you get three hard copies of the problem. So it is very important that like when you are practicing for ICPC, you also do a similar setup, that two people are only reading the problems and coming up with a solution on pen and paper, and only a single person is using the keyboard at any point of time. Like only a single person should be actually going and coding a problem or coding a solution to try and get it accepted. So like a lot of times while training for ICBC, people do this mistake that like three people sit on three different laptops and they like read the problems independently, code independently, and debug independently. But the bad thing about this approach is that when you are in an actual contest, you get only a single desktop. So if one person is stuck on a problem and he's trying to debug it, the other two cannot have the keyboard time to implement or debug their problems. And and because they had not trained for this during their practice, like it is a major surprise to them. And because of this, a lot of times, even if you have a solution, like you are not able to go and implement it and get it accepted. Okay, so it is very, very important that like when training for ICPC, you should first try and attempt 5 hour contest, because you should have the habit of sitting for 5 hours. Like most regular contests on these websites are only 2 hour contests, and ICPC is 5 hour contest. So you should have the habit of like keeping your mind active for 5 hours. So train like using the 5 hour contests, and and while you are training, use only a single computer and try that. Like other two laptops or other two people are just reading problems and coming up with solutions on paper, and only a single person is implementing at any point of time. Okay. Another big mistake which people do when preparing for ICPC is that, like while selecting their team members, they tend to choose members who are highly rated. So usually in a college, like people just look at the top three people who have the highest ratings, and they come together and form a team. But this is not always the optimal choice. Why? Because suppose two people are highly rated, but both of them have their strong topics as graphs and their weak topics as DP, okay, or some other topic. Then even if both of them come together, the team would be such that the team's strongest topic would be graphs and the weakest topic would be DP. Ideally, a ICPC team should not have any weak topics. Like that is how you should choose your team members. That if one person is good in graphs, the other person should be good in DP or maths, like data structures, etc. So you should try to pick members such that the team members try to develop their expertise in different topics, like so that a particular ICPC team has expertise in all the topics which are important for the competition. Okay, I think this is a very important uh, thing. Like now, I'll probably take a break for 2 minutes and ask if somebody has any questions. Like if you want me to answer any particular questions. So like Vikram is asking, is it good to learn C++? Yes, I think C++ is the language of choice for most people who want to like participate in these competitions. Bhupinder is asking which algorithm should be covered. I think it is a very like there's a very vast list of algorithms like that can occur. You like I cannot uh, la- lay them down in a single like in a single slide, but yes, I think like most of the fundamental algorithms are necessary, and like many advanced are also necessary. Is templates allowed in ICPC? In ICPC, you are allowed to carry a printed book of 25 pages. In that printed book, you can take any template or any C++ code. And in the actual contest, you need to actually look at that printed book and then uh, like refer to any template or any code that you want to take a look at. Is Euler good for programming? Like, so the Euler website is good for math puzzles. Uh, it's good if you want to improve your math, and it is also indirectly useful for computer programming. But I think like directly there are other resources which can probably be more helpful. I'm not sure what solo learn is. Vikram, sorry. How to learn DS and algo from basic to advanced? Yeah, we'll come to that. Which language should a college beginner start with? I would say like if you want to learn programming in general, start with Python. But if you want to learn programming for like if you are serious about competitive programming and you want to spend like the next few years on that, then try to get your mastery on C++. A source for preparation, yes, we'll come to that. Like what are the popular programming competitions for single person? Like the popular websites are CodeForces and CodeChef. Like these websites hold regular competitions almost every week or every 2 weeks. And apart from that, there are also competitions like Google Code Jam, Facebook Hacker Cup, and others. So you can keep participating in those competitions. How much time should we give to computer programming besides college? I think this is a very subjective question. For example, I think like in my third and fourth year, I used to spend like we used to attempt 3 5-hour contests a week and then spend time on absolving them every week. Like when I was preparing for world finals. So yeah, I think it really depends on how interested you are and how much time you want to spend. But yeah, like we'll come to why preparing for HPC is hard and like what can we do to prepare better. But yeah, I started CP like in my second semester after coming to college in my second semester. Okay, okay. So let's come to the yeah like order of topics to do well. I cannot give a single list of topics, but yeah, like we also have an AMA session on ICPC. Uh, Specifically like today evening, probably you should also attend that and we can discuss more about the topics in that session. Okay, so like one of the most important questions that I've been thinking about myself as well, and I think which a lot of a lot of senior programmers across the country like have been thinking about is why is it so hard to excel at ICPC? Like for example, the Indian school students prepare for like one of the hardest exams in the world, which is ITJE, and which the exam basically tests the problem solving skills of students in math and science. So we already have a like a rigorous training from early years, like for students who want to do good in engineering, and a lot of people train very hard for exams like ITJE, and they are very good at problem solving. Like the people who do well in ITJE definitely have very good problem solving skills, and I think that is the core component which is also needed for ICPC. Even then, the question is that why is it so hard for Indians to excel at ICPC, and why is it that, say, the number of red coders in India are very few? Why is it that India has never had a top 10 rank in the world finals? And compared to, say, countries like Russia, China, etc., which have like, say, more than 10 times like the red coders on these popular websites, like they regularly get ranks in top 10 in the world finals, and like in IOIs. So like, why is there such a huge gap in the performance of uh, people from India and like people from other countries like Russia and China? So I think one of the most important reasons for this is that like there's no proper guidance for people who want to prepare for these competitions in India. Like, most Indian programmers like don't receive proper training and proper guidance, and they have to learn most of the topics and figure out most of the advanced tricks themselves. Like, so if I talk personally about myself, like I think I was extremely lucky that in my second semester I had TAs in my college who themselves were ICBC World Finalists. So they had been preparing for ICBC World Finals, and they were my TAs for courses like C programming or algorithms. And I got an opportunity to get in touch with them and like get proper guidance during my early days. And and also get motivated by looking at them and believing that okay, if they can do it, I can also do it. Like, I'm talking to these people who have done it in the past, so probably I can also do it. And I think that motivation and that guidance really helped me improve very quickly. Like, I was an undergraduate in Triple IT Hyderabad, where the culture for ICPC was very strong, and I think that was really a very important factor which helped me going. To give you guys a perspective, uh, like in 10th standard, I also cleared ZIO, which is like Zonal Informatics Olympiad, and I got selected for INOI, which is the National Olympiad for Informatics. So in ZIO, most like the problems which are asked in ZIO are basically math problems. So like anybody without a programming background can also go and attempt it. So I got like selected, like I cleared ZIO, and I got selected for INOI. But INOI, we have to attempt problems similar to ICPC. So we have to code in C++, and we have to attempt problems which are ICPC style problems. And I remember, like I very clearly remember that while preparing for INOI, like my elder brother used to go for tuitions, and I called the person, I called the teacher who was giving tuitions for 11th and 12th C++. Like 11th and 12th have like in many colleges, like in 11th and 12th we have uh, a subject called C++. So I learned C++ from that tuition teacher. But when I showed him the problems for ICPC, neither he could solve it nor I could solve it. I also had an elder brother in like studying in an engineering college. Like I tried sending problems to him, but even he could not solve it. And then like I had no idea whom should I ask, like whom should I get more training for solving this problem, and therefore I did not pursue it further. But once I came to college, I realized that okay, ICPC and IOI, like these are similar things, and this is how competitive programming works. And then I did well, and then I was a trainer for the Indian IOI team for 3 years. So I think like I came back the whole loop. And I think the most important part for me was that I received that guidance from college seniors. Also, like in my second year, I was very lucky to be shortlisted for a programming camp where people like Arjun Arul, who's also a trainer at Unacademy, and other top programmers at that time, basically my seniors, were there to teach uh, like the junior folks. So like first and second year students were shortlisted, and those camps are also organized by CodeChef. So I think CodeChef has been doing a phenomenal job in organizing these camps where the top programmers can come together and give guidance to the people who are just starting out. And I was very lucky to be shortlisted for that camp in my second year. And then since then, like in my first year, I think, and since then, like I've also been a trainer at like some of these camps from my third year onwards. Like once I myself became good, so I think I was very lucky to receive this guidance. But even then, I have like I had to spend a significant amount of time reading accepted codes. So, basically, a lot of time like which I spent went into reading codes of top programmers, like accepted codes on Codeforces and CodeChef by top programmers of the world like Kennedy etc. to learn various tricks. बहुत ज़्यादा टाइम मैंने स्पेंड किया, मतलब ऐसे उन ट्रिक्स को सीखने के लिए जो नॉर्मली लोगों को पता नहीं होती, बिकॉज वो ट्रिक्स ऐसी हैं जो जो बिकॉज मतलब मैंने किसी से के कोड में पढ़ी इसलिए मुझे पता है, एंड वो फिर मैंने आगे 4 लोगों को बता दी। तो इस टाइप की एडवांस ट्रिक्स आर वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, ठीक है। एंड मतलब अब यहाँ पे पॉइंट वही है कि जो इंडिया का स्ट्रक्चर है वो बहुत ज्यादा हैपेजार्ड है, मतलब लाइक बहुत ज्यादा बार लोगों को खुद एफर्ट मांगना पड़ता है टू इम्प्रूव, टू गेट बेटर एंड टू लर्न दीज टॉपिक्स एंड ट्रिक्स। एंड लाइक ये बिकॉज ऑफ दिस, मतलब इस इशू की वजह से बहुत बार जो लोग हैं दे स्टार्ट वेरी इंथुजियास्टिकली, मतलब बहुत जोश में लोग स्टार्ट करते हैं, लेकिन आफ्टर सम टाइम दे हिट अ प्लेटू, बिकॉज उसके बाद इंप्रूव करना बहुत मुश्किल हो जाता है, बहुत मुश्किल हो जाता है। उसके बाद मतलब बेसिक फंडामेंटल्स बहुत 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 रिसोर्सेज हैं बेसिकली, मतलब C++ बेसिक्स या डेटा स्ट्रक्चर बेसिक्स के बहुत कोर्सेज हैं, बट वंस यू हिट द इंटरमीडिएट लेवल, मतलब थोड़ा सा भी एक इंटरमीडिएट लेवल या एडवांस लेवल जब आता है, तो मेजोरिटी जनता ने बिकॉज खुद ही नहीं किया होता तो वो आगे पढ़ाएंगे क्या। मतलब जिस बंदे ने खुद ही कभी मतलब ICPC में ऐसे नेशनल लेवल या इंटरनेशनल लेवल पे पार्टिसिपेट नहीं किया, वो बाकियों को क्या पढ़ाएगा कि मतलब कैसे करना चाहिए। तो इंडिया के अंदर बिकॉज नंबर ऑफ गुड प्रोग्रामर्स जो हैं वो बहुत कम है, मतलब ऑब्वियसली मतलब इफ यू लुक एट द चार्ट्स ओवर द इयर्स, number of good programmers have been increasing, क्योंकि मतलब because of internet, because of online communities, it is getting easier and easier to get access to good resources. Like things are becoming more and more standard, like people know a lot more topics. So it has been improving, but this ecosystem needs to improve to a much better level. मतलब आज की डेट में your chances of success in ICPC can depend very highly on कि तुम किस कॉलेज से हो। अगर तुम देखोगे कि ICPC वर्ल्ड फाइनल्स में कौन सी टीम्स जा रही हैं, मेजोरिटी ऑफ द टाइम्स लाइक सेम कॉलेज से टीम जाती हैं हर साल। वही IITs और IIITs की टीम जाती हैं ऑलमोस्ट हर साल सेम कॉलेज से। एंड वाई इज दैट? क्योंकि मतलब उनके कॉलेज से बिकॉज थर्ड ईयर का बंदा गया हुआ है, तो वही बंदा अपने फर्स्ट ईयर जूनियर्स को ट्रेन करेगा, वही बंदा अपने फर्स्ट ईयर जूनियर्स को गाइड करेगा कि कैसे प्रैक्टिस करो, मतलब क्या क्या टॉपिक्स देखो, क्या 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 सवाल इंपॉर्टेंट है। मतलब अगर तुम कोड फोर्सेस पे जाओगे, कोड शेफ पे जाओगे, इतने सवाल हैं कि पूरी लाइफ अटेम्प्ट करोगे तो भी खत्म नहीं होंगे। तो हाउ टू फिल्टर आउट कि यार कौन सा सवाल ऐसा है जो कि बहुत अच्छा सवाल है, जो जिसमें कुछ कुछ नई ट्रिक है, कौन सा सवाल ऐसा है जो एक रेपिटेशन है। तो ये चीजें मतलब पीपल पास ऑन, इसलिए अ गुड कोच या लाइक somebody who has done it by himself is like and is ready to guide you, these things are very important. एंड मतलब इसलिए जो ये ट्रेंड्स भी तुम देखते हो कि कॉलेजेस से सेम कॉलेजेस से टॉप प्रोग्रामर्स हैं, सेम कॉलेजेस से ICPC वर्ल्ड फाइनेंस की टीम्स आ रही हैं, इट इज मेनली बिकॉज उन्हीं कॉलेज के लोग पहले गए हुए हैं, तो वहीं पे ट्रेनिंग मतलब वहीं पे ट्रेनिंग होती है, ठीक है। एंड like given this whole uh, like disruption in the online education industry, now we want to fix that, like we want to change that। इसीलिए ऐसे अभी आज की डेट में मुझे कोई नीड नहीं है कि मैं अपनी मेन जॉब पे फोकस ना करके यहाँ पे आके मतलब कुछ बातें करूँ, बट द पॉइंट इज कि लाइक वी वांट टू गिव बैक टू द कम्युनिटी। मतलब मेरे सीनियर्स ने अगर मुझे गाइड नहीं किया होता तो आज मैं वो चीज़ें ना कर पाता जो शायद मैंने की हैं। तो तो आई थिंक आई वांट टू गिव बैक टू द कम्युनिटी, एंड आई थिंक दिस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। तो like this I think is the hardest uh, thing. Like this is why ICPC has been so hard for like for Indian programmers and Indian school students, and like and we want to fix that. So मतलब CodeChef का जो ये Learn CP का प्रोग्राम है, basically like we want to fix this issue. Like if you look at the educators, like CodeChef has worked really hard to bring the top educators, like top programmers from the country, like not just top educators, like top programmers, मतलब जिन लोगों ने खुद ऐसे ICPC स्टाइल कॉम्पिटिशन्स में एक्सेल किया है, मतलब जिन लोगों ने खुद पास्ट में मचाया हुआ है, वो लोग आके पढ़ाएंगे ताकि दे कैन टीच द कोर्सेस, लाइक दे कैन टीच द ट्रिक्स, like the concepts very well, and they can help say others who are learning and preparing for these competitions. So like the goal for me personally and for like the Learn CV program by CodeChef in general is also to remove the barrier of which college a person is, like that should determine the rest of the career या फिर the rest of the life। मतलब इंडिया का ये बहुत सैड रियलिटी है कि like it's a very sad reality for India that if you are not able to get into a very good college, like the rest of the whole career gets impacted, because like you don't I mean like a lot of us have felt at least that uh, I mean the college courses are not very good, like the college seniors are not great, and therefore the community is not there even if a person wants to learn. And because of this, like this has a compounding effect for like on the rest of the career of the person, and like that is a very sad reality कि खाली 11 12th के results के base पे, I mean, the rest of the career can get impacted, and we want to change that by giving the right guidance and bringing the right training accessible to everybody, irrespective of which college you are from, or which like which school you are from, or which college you are from, or which city or state you are from, right? So like that is the objective of this Learn CP program. So like in the last say like 10 20 minutes, like I would also like to discuss ki like what concrete plans do we have to change this, मतलब खाली बातें करने से तो ये change होगा नहीं, so we need to act on it, and what concrete plans do we have. So like so far we've been doing courses on Unacademy, like some of you might have even seen, we've been doing free courses and plus courses, but these courses have been ad hoc courses, like ad hoc topics. So like there was not a lot of guidance for people who are just starting out. So starting from 14 December, that is tomorrow, like we are also starting batches. Like we are starting what are called batches, jahan pe like we have a structured course for every batch, and given a batch, like we will start teaching them topics from the very basics, like introduction to programming, introduction to C++, introduction to Python, etc. And like we will discuss topics all the way up to the intermediate and advanced level, where like you would be able to where you would be able to say like cover topics which are required for the like participating in regional levels, and probably like, and later on we'll also have like dedicated courses for like people who want to train for international level competitions like world finals. And the reason I'm saying is that we can do this is because we have educators who themselves have been like ACM world finalists. A person who has not been to world finals, or a person who has not been to like regionals, if that person comes and train uh, like says that he wants to train you, like it can be very hard, because like that person hasn't lived that life himself. Okay, so like यहाँ पे majority of like almost all the trainers who are there, like for intermediate and advanced courses, like every trainer is highly rated and like has been to the world finals, or like has been short has qualified for the world finals. And like the beginner level trainers are also people who are working at like good companies, who have had the experience of cracking those interviews. So like they would be able to guide you and train you very well. So I have some questions in the comment box, like maybe I'll like stop a while to answer that. So Pujita is asking, if we buy the subscription, then all the plus content is available to us. Yes. So if you buy the plus subscription, like all the content, like be it the batches, be it the plus courses that we have in parallel to the batches, or be it the free classes, like everything is available to you. So the subscription cost is the same, and we don't have subscription for per category. So even if you want to prepare for IOI, for ICPC, for interview preparation, like all these things are covered under a single subscription. So because ideally, like everything is basically competitive programming. So for example, like if I've been to the world finals, like I never had to prepare explicitly for Google interviews or Facebook interviews. Like I always sat in those interviews just like that, because I had enough practice of solving those kind of problems for my ICPC practice. So if you are preparing for one thing, you implicitly also prepare for the other. Like preparing for ICPC world final is strictly better than preparing for like say company interviews. And like preparing for, and it's also strictly better than comparing for the regionals. So you can also choose your specific goal, and but because we believe that it is about learning competitive programming, therefore we have a single subscription, and then you can choose your goal accordingly. But we have batches starting, like which will be teaching competitive, like we have a complete course on competitive programming starting out from tomorrow, and this will be focused on starting from the very basic topics to the intermediate and like slightly advanced level topics as well. Like this will be a 1 year course. So yeah, like there are also some more questions. Animesh is saying that I'm financially weak. Is there a waiver scheme? So we have things uh, like an EMI, like so that you can pay in small installments. Like you can also try reaching out to us personally if you like if you have like if you want to apply for some waiver kind of scheme. Like we don't have any official waiver scheme yet, but I would encourage you to reach out to us with your financial specifics, and then we can see if we can make out some exceptions. But in general, like we don't have any waiver schemes as of now. Where to attend these classes? You can attend these classes on Unacademy. Like all these classes are held on Unacademy, and the related materials are uploaded on CodeChef. So maybe I can also send the link in the description box. So this is the link, like where you can uh, see the subscription. So apart from this, like we need to just have subscriptions. Other, yes, I mean you need to have a single subscription, and everything else is accessible from a single subscription. We are also conducting like these free classes, for example, this one, and we have conducted free classes in the past. So like we will continue conducting free classes, but we won't be having a structured batch in a free class, for example. Like for any kind of structured learning, like we encourage you to come and take the subscription because it would also involve a lot of resources from our end. Like we will have dedicated TAs whom you can reach out. We will have dedicated like one-on-one like helping sessions. So there are a lot of things like, and also like doubt sessions. Like yeah, so like I will come to all of that, but because like a structured learning and a batch involves a lot more effort from our side, like we encourage you to go for the subscription. We also have these free classes, but they are mostly on ad hoc topics, and like basically to help people who are like who are not able to buy subscription like financially. We also want to help them, and therefore we are also keeping these free classes. But again, like those will be only ad hoc classes, and for any kind of structured learning, it is better to go and take the subscriptions. If I'm from a local college and done BCA, can we crack FANG companies? So again, to crack FANG companies, you need to have a good resume. To have a good resume, first, like you need to have good foundation of these topics. Like you need to have a good command. If you are confident that you deserve to be there, I'm sure you will get there. But to be able to have a strong foundation, like you need to have a strong understanding of these fundamental topics. For which I encourage you to either take this subscription, or like at least spend a lot of time yourself and improve. Are there any advanced skills required to reaching expert in CF or just basic DP? Yeah, I think it varies. Like I think like there will be other sessions. Like there'll be another session on ICBC and IY in the evening. This question belongs there. You can ask us again in that session. Like, can I join the competitive programming course starting tomorrow if I'm a beginner? Yes, absolutely. So, like starting tomorrow, like we will be focusing on the absolute. So, like I'll come to the structure of this course, which is starting tomorrow. But to give you a brief idea, like it is basically starting from the absolute basics. So we will be teaching you programming starting from flowcharts, and then like we'll teach like we'll come to C++ or other programming language, and then we'll come to all the fundamental topics. Like we will discuss them along with and then also some intermediate topics. So if you are a beginner, you should absolutely think about joining the batch starting tomorrow. Like I think it would be really really useful. Like what are the credits of Unacademy? How are they helpful for us? So the credits, like what are the credits on Unacademy? So like you will of course like receive a CodeChef certification. Like CodeChef is a very well recognized platform by all the companies and all the people. Like this is like CodeChef is one of the most famous like websites where people have come for practicing and doing contests. So CodeChef certification is very well recognized across the industry, and also I think more than just the certification, honestly, like I believe that what you will gain from this subscription is basically access to top educators and top programmers. Like the, I mean, the seniors who were there, who were there to guide me. Like when I was in my first year, you will get a similar access to your seniors, like people like myself and other folks, and you will get access to these people, and you will be able to ask your questions. Like you will be able to get guidance. So it will be similar to studying in an IIT or studying in a triple IT. That you have the right seniors who are there to guide you. Like that is what you actually gain from this. Of course, like you will gain the certification and other things as well. But I think the most important thing in my opinion that you will gain is a very strong foundation, and like very strong people who are there to teach you. Like people who have like given contests themselves, people who are themselves read on Codeforces and other places, like people who are themselves like the country's top programmers. Like they will be there to teach you and help you. How long it is? Yeah, like maybe I'll come to that as well. So, like the batch we are starting tomorrow is a 1 year long batch. Like we also have subscriptions for 1 month or 3 months. If you want to first try out and see whether it makes sense for you, you can always keep extending. But of course, like if you take a longer subscription, it will be cheaper, and like because we would also know that you are committed to us for long term. Uh, okay, so like we are starting this batch starting tomorrow. Like you can go and register for this batch today. Uh, Like I'll probably also share the link, but like you can find the details on the Unacademy website. Uh, so I would encourage everybody to go and take a look at this batch. In terms of what you will get from this, as I mentioned earlier, like there'll be live interaction classes, like live interactive classes similar to this one. Like just like I'm trying to answer the questions in the chat box right now, like there'll be similar classes for uh, topics as well. And like in those classes, there'll also be TAs. Like there'll be TAs who will be there in the live classes, who will be there to answer your questions, and you will also be added to Discord groups where you can reach out to TAs and educators after you, like after the class happens. All these classes will be available online after they have happened. So suppose you have to miss a particular class, you can go and like watch that class later on as well. There'll also be quizzes after every class, like so that you can assess your like, whether you learned something or not, uh, and whether you need to say watch that class again. Like there'll be regular tests and regular contests which we will do to evaluate how well you are doing, like evaluate for ourselves and for yourself. Like you should also get a understanding that you are learning something from this, like it is useful for you. So like we'll have regular tests and practice problems. Like there'll also be a doubt support community where you can post your doubts, like as I said, on Discord servers as well as on like CodeChef discuss. We will have doubt support communities. And this is, for example, the topic wise structure for the batch which is starting tomorrow. So like everybody who was interested that how long the batch is, or like what topics will be discussed, like this is the topic distribution for the batch which is starting tomorrow. So as you can see, the first set of topics are basically like beginner level topics. We will have introduction to programming via flowcharts. Like I think it is very important for people who are new to programming to develop that computational thinking. And once you have gotten a grasp of that, like we will have a course on introduction to programming in a particular language. Like we'll have courses in all three languages: C++, Python, Java. You can choose which language you want to prefer. I personally prefer C++, but suppose you are in college in first year and like in your college you are learning Python, you can also choose Python or Java to make sure that this aligns with your college structure, for example. Like then we'll discuss the basic topics which are required for a good foundation, topics like sorting and searching, like basic data structures, like additional concepts in these languages. Like this slide I think is not updated, but we'll have a advanced course on programming in all three languages. For example, like we'll discuss some like for C++, we'll discuss some advanced tricks and advanced concepts in C++. Like we'll also discuss the advanced concepts in Python and Java. So you can choose which language you want to follow. Like and then we'll have a course on greedy algorithms. Like the next set of topics is basically an intermediate level topic. So yeah, I think like Dushyant is asking, is there any scholarship available? As I said earlier, there is no scholarship option as of now. Like yeah, so if you want access to the PDF, you can download the slides later on from Unacademy. After the class ends, the slides would be available on Unacademy because this class will be available on Unacademy. So you can download the slides later on. And like this would be valid for every lecture, like even after you subscribe. So you can always download the slides later on. Uh, yeah, I'll come to the cost. Away, as I said, like you can download the PDF later on. Uh, I would recommend start with C++ if you want to, if you're serious about complex programming. But you can also choose any other language. It is a personal choice. Uh, yeah. So the the intermediate level topics are basically the ones in the green. Like these are I think useful for uh, like going from an expert level to say uh, like a like if you talk about CodeChef, like these topics are important for becoming a 4 star or maybe also a 5 star programmer. Like topics like DP, discrete maths, number theory, and like slightly advanced data structures like square root decomposition. Like these topics are very important for the intermediate track. If you want to improve your rating on code forces, if you want to say target online like Indian online regionals and maybe also the actual regionals. No, the PDF is available for I think the free members as well. Like you should be able to download the PDF if the class is free. So this is a free class. This is a special class. Anybody can join. So you should be able to download the PDF for this class after the session ends. Okay. And the third set of topics are basically the like slightly advanced topics or topics like graph algorithms, like data structures like segment trees. We also have advanced dynamic programming, topics like computational geometry. So these are slightly advanced topics which are like required for to do well in like the regionals, and maybe also like basically get top ranks in the zonal levels. So this is a beginner level batch because this batch assumes that you don't know any programming. Like we'll also be starting batches for intermediate and advanced programmers, like so that if you think that you know every topic in the beginner section already, so basically all the topics from week 1 to week 26, suppose you already know, then like I mean you can probably not join this batch, but the next batch which we will launching, like we'll be launching I think next week. So that will be a batch starting like a batch for intermediate like level programmers who already know the basics. Okay, and we also have many more things in pipeline. For example, I think we are also planning to launch a ICPC practice series, which like I'm currently working on designing the curriculum for. So like basically we plan to launch it also soon. So somebody said that this is a waste of money as Udemy, for Udemy it's only available for 700 and anybody can cover DSA in about 6 months. Sure, like you can like there are hundreds of places where you can go and learn these things. Anybody can cover DSA, sure, but like if you want a concrete example, you can go and look at my class on introduction to graphs, which I took on like during the IPC camp. The way I introduced how to represent a graph, I don't think any of these courses will be representing that. Like will be introducing that. I think it is about like learning from the best. Like I'm not saying I'm the only one who's best in the country. Like I know there are many other top programmers, but here at Unacademy, like we are trying very hard to make sure that the educators are like people who have a very strong background in computer programming, like who have a very strong background uh, in these programming competitions, who are working at the top companies, and who have done well in the world finals. So like the tricks and like the fundamentals and the the basics that you can learn uh, here, like I don't think these things will be there in every course. And if you think it's not true, then like you can maybe also give examples of people who have like done courses from Udemy and say like did well on the regionals or world finals, like for example. So like I don't think the like I think the USP here is that we are very focused on quality. Like for example, like Arjun Adul, who's been an ACM world finals 2 times himself, and myself, like we like both of us focus very hard on reviewing every course which happen on an academy. So we review the content, we make sure that like they are discussing the interesting tricks, they are discussing the interesting ideas, and I think like that is what like makes the whole Learn CP program stand apart from the competitors. Okay, so coming to the course structure, like this is the current fee structure. Like you can use any referral code. Like my referral code is Tanuj Khatter. Like it doesn't matter if you think like it doesn't matter to me if you use my code or not. Like you can use the code CodeChef as well or any other code. If you use my code, then it basically helps people track that like where are you coming from. But again, like it doesn't matter to me at all. Like I'm not like like I haven't said all of this to make you guys use my referral code, just to be clear. But yeah, like using any referral code will give you a 10% off on like on the pricing. Like this is the current pricing. Yeah, I mean the numbers might seem high in the beginning. Like 30,000 is not a small number. I completely agree with this. But I think if you compare it to the college fees that you end up paying, like to the like the tuitions that you end up paying for in your schools, I think like we have tried to keep the pricing very competitive, so that like we also need to cover the cost of bringing the top people, hiring TAs, like hiring people to create the content. Like there is a lot of effort that goes into preparing these courses and preparing these classes, and I think we need money to basically cover those costs, and that is why we need like these paid subscriptions. Uh, like you can use the refill code to get 10% off, and uh, like the per month cost would be like 2.5K. Like I think it is a like reasonable number, but again, like everybody has a different like financial condition. So like if you think that you are very interested but you cannot afford it at all, like you can maybe try reaching out to CodeChef, uh, and we can discuss the individual cases. But in case you are able to afford it, I would strongly recommend that like you go for it. And like I am very confident that we are putting a lot of effort to make sure that this is worth your time. Like there are hundreds of resources online. Like the thing that you get from this course is basically uh, the fact that we will be doing the filtering of what problems you should be attempting, like what topics you should be studying, and how you should be studying those topics. So I think you are paying for that effort, and you are paying for access to the top programmers who will be able to guide you. So yeah, like if you're interested, like please go and join. Like I've shared the links. This PDF would be available to download later on as well. Like there'll also be teaching assistants on chat and doubts, like as I said earlier. Like there'll be practice problems for every course, etc. So yeah, I think like we are also out of time. So like I like to wrap up here. Uh, I think the most important thing is like you should go and have fun while you do this practice. Like you should make sure that you are enjoying the journey, because I think that is the most important part. And I'm sure that eventually, if you put in enough effort, you'll get there. Like we just want to make your journey smoother by having you like get there faster. There's no certification fee. Like the certificate would be provided free of cost. Like once you are subscribed and once you enroll in a batch, you will get the certificate that of course if you complete the courses and complete the batch as well. Is there a course on intermediate or ICPC short trick later? Yes, we are planning a practice series for ICPC. You will hear about that very soon. Uh, like we plan to launch that from next week Monday as well. I'll like I'm working very hard on that. So yeah, like you'll hear about that very soon. Certification test होगा, like certification, particular certification test नहीं होगा, but like you'll have tests for every course. So हर course के लिए test होगा. So you should participate in those tests, and everybody will get a certificate who complete a course. Okay, so we are running out of time. uh, like there'll be other sessions on particularly from like for placements and other things, like you can attend those sessions. Like for this particular session, I think I would like to wrap up now because we are running out of time. If you have some last minute questions, maybe you can ask now. Cost is very high. Yeah, I think like I would encourage you to go and look at the cost of any other like any other person who's offering such high quality courses, and I'm sure that you realize our cost is much lower than those costs. uh, but yeah, uh, any other last minute questions before we wrap up? Okay, like feel free to reach out to like CodeChef and Unacademy if you have very strong concerns about the cost, if you can afford it. So again, like we don't have any scholarship program. Courses जो हैं वो काफी सारे courses हिंदी में होंगे, कुछ courses इंग्लिश में भी होंगे, like so that we can cater to people from all over the country. But हाँ मतलब काफी courses हिंदी में होंगे, तो like don't worry about that. And no, so you don't need to pay whole at once. You can also opt for the EMI option, like so that you pay a small amount every month. So if you are taking a 12-month subscription, you can opt for an EMI option so that you pay a small amount every month instead of paying the whole thing at once. Paying the whole thing at once can be daunting, so we do have the EMI option. But if you are opting for a 12-month subscription, basically helps us plan things ahead. Like it helps us understand that how many people are there who will be there for us for 1 year. क्योंकि ये चीज़ें ऐसी नहीं हैं जो एक महीने में सीखी जा सकें. मतलब बिगिनर टू एडवांस लेवल चीज़ें एक महीने में कोई नहीं सीख सकता. तो वी नीड, तो इफ यू हैव दैट लॉन्ग टर्म कमिटमेंट, वी कैन ऑल्सो प्लान द कोर्सेज अकॉर्डिंगली. हाँ, एंड मतलब इफ यू ऑप्ट फॉर 1 ईयर सब्सक्रिप्शन, बेसिकली जो कुछ भी हो रहा होगा अन पे सब कुछ अनलॉक हो जाएगा. So it's not like you are paying only for this batch. You are paying for everything that happens on LearnCP. So every course, every ad hoc course, for example, like बीच बीच में हम कुछ कुछ advanced course भी लेंगे, specifically for regionals, like specifically for world finals. So you have access to every such course. Like for 30K, you have access to every course that happens on Unacademy. Whoever educator is taking it, like you can suppose अगर किसी एक बैच में तुमने स्टार्ट किया बट लाइक यू आर नॉट एबल टू फॉलो, कुछ मतलब कुछ काम आ गया तो you had to miss classes, you can also switch to another batch. Like we will have these batches starting every few weeks. Like हर 2-3 हफ्ते में हम नया बैच स्टार्ट करेंगे. तो अगर तुम फॉलो नहीं कर पा रहे, यू कैन ऑल्सो अटेंड क्लासेस फ्रॉम अदर बैचेस. कुछ कंसेप्ट क्लियर नहीं हुआ, कोई लाइव क्लास अटेंड करनी है, यू हैव ऑल दैट फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी. तो दिस इज अ वन टाइम कॉस्ट टू एवरीथिंग, every content that we create for competitive programming. And the batches ka funda is important because batches will help you stay aligned. It will help you follow a structured course and improve. So, like I strongly recommend that you enroll in a batch and you follow it sincerely, if you have a long term vision of improving in this field. Okay, chalo. I would like to wrap up with that, and I will be doing the next Q&A in the evening at 7:30. But we also have more Q&As on like by other educators on topics like interview preparations and like what mistakes people generally do in their first and second year, etc. So like if you're interested, you can also opt for those uh, AMA sessions. Like my AMA session is so me and Arjun. Like Arjun Agarwal is also a two times world finalist and Indian away team trainer. Like I have learned a lot from him during my first and second year. So I'm really grateful to him. And so he and me will be taking a Q&A session in the evening at 7:30 on ICBC and IOI preparation specifically. And you can also ask other doubts on like specifically to how you should be preparing for these competitions and competitive programming in general. ठीक है चलो I'll wrap up now. Thanks a lot for attending this class like this session, and yeah, good luck everybody, and have fun. Like that is the most important thing. Have fun doing this. Okay, bye. Thanks.